Hey, good morning, Albert. Welcome to
Morning.
Tuesday Talk, hosted by me and you. Today is February something, 11th, I believe,
Yeah, we'll,
2025, and it is an incredible week. I don't know how we're going to fit all this shit in 1 hour,
we'll
but
do it.
man, what an incredible last, 5 days?
It's
Yeah, but
been
it has
it's
been
been
an
a,
oh my God.
probably since Wednesday-ish of last week.
I think so. I think so.
Kind of when all this started coming together, and phone calls, emails, texts,
Oh my
people
God.
jumping through hoops to help. Can't say enough about all the stuff that happens in the background. Just way too many people to even start thinking. There are, honestly.
Yeah,
It sounds
there's a lot.
cliche, but it's true, right?
No, it's true. How do you sit here and go down the line like a Grammy speech, right? Okay, I got to pull out my list. Hold on a
Yeah.
minute. I want to think, right? There's so many, and you're going to forget somebody. But man, we got to make an announcement, right? I
Yeah.
I really think
Yeah.
we do. And
Yeah.
and you're so much. Why don't you go ahead and make the announcement? Because I don't know where to start with it.
So let's start with we are going to be at Speed Week. Say it
We are
again, Speed Week. Week. We're
Speed
going to be
Week.
there. You are going to be down there the whole week, um, and
I am.
through one of our partners, through some other back channel conversations, with the I don't want to say approval, blessing, understanding of potentially
Commitment.
commitment. There you go. Of what we do. Mike Harmon Racing agreed to let us bring on another
Share.
car. Let us bring on
Share.
another car,
Yeah.
an ARCA, through a different team, active duty B-52 pilot. His name's Ryan Roulette, and he's in the ARCA series. He will be carrying our logo on his car as well. So we will be in ARCA. We'll be in the Xfinity, and through a partnership with Mike Harmon and Rick Ware Racing, um, we're going to be in the Cup Series this week at Daytona as well on one of the Rick Ware Racing cars. And
We
again, this
are.
is all because of the hard work of the Mike Harmon crew, Karen, and the rest of the crew over there, having those conversations of where we are, where we'd like to go, and the understanding of all of us working together. So we're more powerful for the impact for the veteran community and first responder community. And there wasn't even a blink, wasn't even hesitation. Okay, tell us what you want to do. Tell us who you're going to go with. Let's talk about it. And we had some conversations, and it was a perfect fit. So here we are, three
Yeah.
cars,
Yeah.
three different levels, all week at Daytona. And I'll let you, if you're allowed,
I haven't
potentially.
heard back to say
Okay,
no.
we'll leave
So
that one alone. We'll
I
leave that one
no,
alone.
I'm gonna bring it up, man, because
Okay.
it's incredible. So along with Mike Harmon in Xfinity, Ryan Roulette in ARCA, Rick Ware in Cup, I will be providing, let me rephrase that. Not I, Save 22, but I will be there. Save 22 is going to be embedded with
Sure.
the Air Force Thunderbirds for the week. And Save 22 has communicated with their commander and first sergeant our mission and their public affairs people, right, to make sure that we're good. But we are going to provide a shift change meal
Yes.
for the day shifters and the swing shifters on Friday afternoon, one of their busiest days, their schedules. We're going to provide pizza and drinks for all of them that show up at the hotel and their families that they brought with them. We will have a little bit of merchandise to hand out, some T-shirts, things like that, some swag. But mainly, we're going to say, hey, it's the beginning of the year. It's 2025. It's your first show. It's incredibly exciting. We know what you go through the entire year, and we just want to let you know that we care, right?
Yep.
You're not alone in what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on for you. We just want to let you know that, hey, somebody cares.
Right. Right.
And if you're having a hard time, there are people that you can talk to, and we hope that you have them. And if you don't, why don't you come talk to me? Right? Just get it off
Right.
your chest, get it off your
Yep.
shoulders, because it is stressful. These guys do. I think Tiffany did 264 days last
Yeah.
year on the
Yeah.
road, right? And they just did 2 weeks in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, came home for like 4 days, and then went and did 3 weeks in Edwards Air Force Base for winter training. They came home Saturday. They went to work yesterday. They're off today. They leave tomorrow for the Daytona 500, and they're going to be practicing on, Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday with the flyover. It's going to be a lot for them, and we just wanted to let them know that, hey, you're not alone, right?
Right. Right. And I think too, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I think it's important to know like the impact of this whole week, right?
The
So
impact, right?
you're starting with active duty military
Hmm.
and their families,
Right,
group of potentially 200-ish, you
ish.
know. Then we're in the ARCA series with active duty driver. Then we move up to Mike Harmon, who, oh, by the way, this is our ninth year with them. And then you'll see us in the Cup Series. So, like the impact, the availability to see what we do, to see what we're about, our information is going to be out there. I believe this is probably going to be a great kickoff. I want to say for our season as well, because that's the way we look at it. Like, right? Let's get to the hike. There's our Super Bowl,
Our
right?
Super Bowl is the hike, which isn't
Right.
until May, right?
Right.
So you're halfway done with the year already.
Right.
But that's
Right.
our season, right? May, June, July, August, maybe a little bit in September.
Yep.
That's when we go nuts. To have this now in February,
It's way
I,
early.
I want to be clear too. This isn't just Save 22 being on three cars in three different races at Daytona Speed Weeks. These are three nationally televised races. And the position of our decals on these cars is prime real estate for television.
Yeah. And I
And
think it's important. I'm going to interrupt too. Sorry.
no, do it, do it,
I
do
know,
it.
I know, I think it's important too for people to understand that these aren't sponsorships. They're
Mm-mm.
not. These are partnerships. And to me, there's a huge difference because a partner such as Mike Harmon, Karen, and the group over there, they understand what we're doing. They
Right.
understand the value of us not having $1 million budgets. They
Yeah.
understand what it takes to truly help. So a
Well,
lot of these things,
let's talk
you know,
about Karen and Mike real quick because
right?
Karen and her husband James are just like us, right?
Yes,
James retired from the Navy, if I remember
Navy,
correctly.
Navy.
Multiple deployments,
Yep.
right? She and he have been together for I don't even know how long, a
As long as
millennia,
I've known them, I
as
mean, as
long
long as
as
I've
we've
known them.
known them. Yeah. And they understand the struggles, right? That an active duty life brings,
Right.
right? And none of us ever complained about it. We just, well, yeah, we all complained about it. It's a soldier's right to complain. Um, but she understands, and they, God, I don't even know what words to use for them. It's like she's a
Thank
little
you.
sis. It's like she's a little sister who just wants to share all this with her big brothers type deal. And man, we could not have put together on our own or with all the help in the world a better partnership than we have with Mike Harmon,
Yeah.
right? Mike struggles to make the races, but Mike always is available for us for that 5 minutes to say thank you for being here. Help yourself to whatever I have. I know it's not a lot, but man, we're gonna be here for you. And here, by the way, we love you. Thank you. Right? You
Yeah.
want to take some pictures with the car? We'll leave everybody alone. Nobody's going to touch the car. Go take your pictures.
Yep.
Right? I mean, just the what's the word I want? The
I think there's a
hospitality
I
and
think
and
there's
and respect. Yeah.
I think you just nailed it. I think there's a deep understanding of what we're both trying to accomplish. I think there's a deep understanding of the value of what each of us are doing. And we found that common ground and it's just
Right.
worked. I mean, even when we're not at the track, and I think again, this is
Part of the team.
Karen has taken on her own police officers, firefighters, military, because of what we're doing, right? She's just keeps it going. We, meaning us, you, I, Save 22, physical presence may not be there, but the work and the knowledge that she has over the past 10 years and what she's gone through her own self, you know, she knows, she gets it. And I think that's been passed on to now these other partners that we're starting to bring on. Lex June is another great example, you know.
Oh my God, that phone call with Lex last week. I mean, he just picked up the phone and called me, and he had me in tears.
Yeah.
Like, are you?
Yeah, and there's
Uh,
so many of those people out there doing things like this, you know.
it's crazy. I'm trying to put a
Yeah, I
link at
see.
a bottom
Right.
here for Mike Harmon. So, at the bottom of the screen is the link for Mike Harmon Racing and their tab for the partners. And man, I don't know how to share my screen on this, but I want you to. Can I do this? I can do this. Screen share. Here we go. Check this out, guys. This is Mike Harmon's screen when you first pop up.
Yep.
Look at this. Save 22 is their partner listed on their website.
Right.
We're the only ones, guys. And how absolutely incredible are these people to have that up there for us, right? It's absolutely amazing to be doing this. I don't know how to stop. There we go. Stop. Back. Hey, we're all learning, bro. We're
We're
all learning,
rookies.
right?
We're rookies.
We're all learning. I don't know how to do this. It's kind of funny, but yeah, Mike and Karen and all their people and the hospitality and the love that they give us, where they put the stickers, and for Rick Ware, we were talking about Lex June. Yeah, let's talk about Lex June in the NHRA. We do have a guest coming on today. I did just hook up with Patrick Drabeck from Goat Talk Live and Goat
Awesome.
Locker Racing. He's going to join us at 10:30. So at the bottom of the hour, he's going to have it out for us. He's going to be on. Look at Chuck. Chuck's telling us to stop. No, I'm not going to stop. Um, but Lex's partnership is one of those that we've talked about it a lot. Where um, ah,
Yeah.
I'm,
There's a lot just happened right there for a quick
yeah,
second.
I don't know what all that was.
What was all
Um,
that?
but Lex's partnership is one of those that man, we committed X amount of dollars to help him out with his project and his racing, right? His never quit team, his attitude, his love for the sport, and his absolute admiration and respect for military and first responders.
Yeah.
We're happy to help him out. But he called me last week and he was like, Johnny, I want you to know something. I will never be disappointed in anything that you have to tell me. And what I had to tell him was I got to pull back some of that money because we didn't make our goal that we were hoping for. But
Right.
um, you know, he must have talked to me for 15 minutes, and I don't think I got 10 words in. And all he wanted to say was, I don't want your money. Pretty much, I want to get you to the track. I want to give back. I want to share this with you. I want to share this with them. And man, I can't wait for that. Our first deal with them, I just had it out. Our first race with Lex June is the four wide at Charlotte. I
Yeah.
think I think that's the first one I set up.
Can't wait for that one.
It is. So NHRA Charlotte, 24, 25, 26, 27 of April, right? We're going to be down there at Charlotte four wide, hoping to get maybe half a dozen veterans, maybe 10
Yeah.
to come down to the track. Charlotte's a big deal. There's a lot of people around there, a lot of veterans that we could hook up with to get them to the track. So, get on save22.vet, sign up for the motorsports program, put your name and email in there, contact information, where you live. Um, and hey, maybe we can get you down to Charlotte. No guarantees, obviously, but just sign up. We're going to start a newsletter here. You'll get access to all those kind of things. So make sure you sign up at save22.vet. We got the
Yeah.
Mike Harmon link down across the bottom. We should probably put Lex June's up too.
Yes. And I'm going to touch real quick on the money,
Go for it.
um, because I think it's important for people to know this too. Like, we're working with the people we work with, they understand we don't have the money as big corporate. We don't have $10,000 for a quarter panel spot on a car. We don't have $7,000 for a B pillar sticker. We just don't. We don't have it, right? What we do have is, and we can get it. We struggle, but we can get it. We can get the money for the passes, for, to buy the tickets, the hard pass. We can help get those. We can help donate some money for feeding our vets and first responders at the track. We can do those. So when you see those expenditures, because we're wide open, when you see those expenditures going out for these things, those are where those monies are going. They're not going just for the decal on the car. They're not. They're not going, for all these great big expenses. These monies
No.
are being used directly for the veterans, first responders, and their families. And these partners have taken it upon themselves to take that hit, and they really do. They
They
really
do.
do take a hit.
They do.
So that tells you something about the character of Mike Harmon, Lex June, now Ryan Roulette, Mr. Rick Ware, these types of people, right?
Right.
People that just
Right.
simply want to put a sticker on a decal on
Yeah, decal. We're
something.
racing now. We're not 12 years old. These are
Yeah,
decals, bro.
put a decal on something just because they simply want to help. They want to help bring that awareness, right?
Right.
And to have these
Right.
people reach out across NASCAR, the people reaching out to John and I aren't because it's John and it's because of Mike Harmon putting us in a spot. Karen constantly talking about us. The team constantly. Same with Lex June, constantly. Bless you. And now Ryan Roulette. Just through the conversations we've had, they understand right away. They get it, right?
Right.
So building this over the bless you again over the past 9 years, and these new partnerships that are coming around, right? These are
We'll
people
get
who
to that.
truly
Yeah.
care. These are people who truly care, and so again, please go check out Mike Harmon, Lex June, Ryan Roulette, Rick Ware. Give them a like and a follow on social. It sounds so stupid, but those metrics really do help, and they help us too, because we can say, look at the growth over the past 9 years, right? With all these partners, look at their social medias, look at their impacts, look at the stories they're telling. All that comes back to us, so we can turn around and help so many more people.
Just getting the word out, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
it's okay. It's okay to struggle,
yeah,
right?
yep,
You and I have been down or up or across or through around whatever an incredible journey. It's been crazy, right? Addiction. You and I both used pills, both legal and illegal, uh, to try to fix some shit.
yeah,
And the bottom line was, but both you and I found out was it was up to us to
yeah,
make that decision. It was up to
yeah,
ourselves, right? And what words are we listening to when we talk to and about ourselves?
yeah,
That was a big eye opener for both you and
yeah,
I
yeah,
think, in our stories.
yeah,
And these guys get it, right? They understand that we are willing to take ourselves to that negativity again. We're going to take ourselves to that spot, that
that's
darkness.
that spot. You're right.
Allow ourselves to feel it again,
Yeah,
um, just to let somebody else know that we know what they're going through,
right,
right?
right.
Because go ahead.
And one of the things that always sticks out of my head, and I'll forever thank John Haney, forever.
Yeah,
He
our
told me
man John
some.
Haney.
He told me something when we first started talking, and you know, started sharing a little more, and find out that he had some issues too, and that's his story to tell.
Right.
But one thing he did tell, he goes, the problem with an addict is, and for me it was pills. So he said, one pill isn't enough, and 100 wasn't too many.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't hit me right away.
Mm-mm.
And then as we progress, and age might be a part of it, kids getting older might be a part of it. Like, you start reflecting a little bit, right?
I think
You're like,
self
damn,
knowledge, right?
right. And
Self
then you're like, man,
understanding.
I couldn't walk, didn't know if I was going to walk, popping these pills, literally dragging myself around the house. to get to that bottle capped and on top of the refrigerator, right? Nobody's going to know. I'll just sip it, right? Well, the sip with the pills isn't enough. Then what's next? 2 pills, a bigger sip, right? And it's self-destruction. And you look back to that and you're like,
Self sabotage,
look where we are now.
right? Where are
I
we?
don't, you know me, man. I don't drink hardly at all. If I do, it's 1 or 2 here or there. That's it.
Hmm.
Pills are a no-go for me at all. Never again. You deal with the pain, you just push through, you just do. Because I would rather hurt and feel than be numb.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I just had a conversation with myself and the wife last night. Right over the weekend, we took off. We went to Pittsburgh, had dinner. Right, couple $300 dinner that wasn't worth a couple $300, but
You never
uh,
are.
never are. You go gambling, you play around a little bit, you have a good time, you get lost in the moment. Um, and I wake up on Sunday and come back, and I'm tearing up at commercials again,
Yeah.
right? And I told her, I said, "Man, I haven't taken my wah medicine."
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I took like 16 fucking meds from the VA. And every time I would take those meds, I would feel different. I would be
Yeah.
chasing a feeling. And I just had this
Mm-hmm.
conversation with my middle kid the other day. Be careful what you're putting in be careful what you're asking this medicine to do, right? You can't rely on it for your life, which is what I thought I was doing.
Right.
I'm stuck. I have to take this forever. There's something wrong with me. Um, but every one of them was different. You and I both talked. We got up to 280 pounds, 280 for you, 278 for me, and
Yeah.
we're both. You're down 40, 50 pounds. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm down 100. I
Yeah.
don't know how I did it. Oh, yes, I do. I quit eating. So don't do that. But no, I'm not anorexic. No, I'm not bulimic. No, I don't do any of that stuff. I just got sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. So there had to be a change, right? So it takes a little bit of time. Um, you know, those pills, man, they might be a help. They quite possibly could be a hindrance. What I noticed taking my meds is they made me feel more of the same that I was trying to get rid of.
Right.
And the only way to get out of that is to stop taking those pills. But that's dangerous, right? And we know that's dangerous.
Mm.
Um, Me running out of meds 8 years ago, 8 years ago, uh, was what caused my episode, right? Where
Yeah.
the pistol's loaded, 45 hollow point, off safe, finger on the trigger. Like you cannot get any closer than I was. Well,
Yeah.
maybe taking the tension out of the trigger, but I was close to stopping everything, all the pain, but it's all temporary. It was
It is.
all temporary, right? And we talked about having to work and do the work. And Timmy said it's because of hard work and dedication. Don't shortchange yourself. Um, that's what you and I talked about too, right? We don't give ourselves enough credit for what we've done, right? Whether it's, I think that's a lot of us. I think that's a
Yeah.
lot of us that struggle when we get out. We don't think it was enough, or we don't think we're enough, or we don't think we're enough now. And that couldn't be farther from the truth, right? We talk about what were my dreams, and hey, so going on right now live, you'll see the Safe 22 picture. It's a little delayed over on the YouTube side, but the Safe 22 logo on the Lex June car right there, page one, landing page on Lex June. Again, we talk about the support. This is the type of support that they give us. Mike
Yeah.
Harmon, right then and there, right? Ryan Roulette, that deal just popped off Monday,
Y-
yesterday.
y- I don't know
Yeah,
this. These past 3 days
it's
for
been
me.
crazy.
Yeah. Plus, I was traveling. So we're doing all this up and down the road.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I was hands free.
he was a passenger. He was a passenger. Relax.
Yeah. So,
Passenger
yeah.
princess with Chuck driving.
No, actually, I was driving. Chuck was chilling. So,
Uh,
we could touch on that real quick too, because I think this is important too, because this all comes together, man. Um, Chuck and Junior, we took a trip, guys trip, just for a minute to get away, right? You spent 12, 13 hours on the road to get where we were going. No radio. We even talked about it. We never turned the radio on. It was just a simple conversation of really getting to know each other, like in depth, right? And
Yep.
having those conversations, and you learn so much more about each other. So literally we had a 12-hour therapy session all the way up
And all the way back.
and all the way back, and again, just sharing those struggles with each other and finding out Chuck, Junior, myself, we're all again back to frickin' Corey Taylor.
Right.
We're that peg away.
You're
That
one
far.
peg away. Just keep
That's
moving
it.
forward, guys. Just keep
Yeah.
going, right? Today might suck in your mind, but I guarantee you it's better than your worst absolute day, right? Your
Yeah.
absolute worst day.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
And Chuck says Ford was driving, so he's got this new truck and it's got this hands-free driving stuff.
Yeah, yada yada yada.
You want to talk
I
about
wanna
a
hear it.
lesson in trust and holding on and letting go? Yeah. Yeah. I had my hands off the wheel and the truck literally drives itself for about 3.5, 4 hours. I never touched the wheel.
That's crazy. That's
It's
crazy. Hey,
insane.
we got Patrick Drabeck,
All right.
Goat Locker Racing. He's on right now. He does not have a camera at this time, but we're going to bring him in. Patrick, are you there, buddy? Hey, buddy, are you there?
Yeah, I am here.
Awesome,
Awesome.
Patrick. Awesome. So we are live on YouTube, my friend. So Patrick is the CEO and president of Goat Locker Racing. And Goat Locker Racing is a nonprofit out of Indiana. There he is. Look at that picture. He's even sitting in his sim rig. Check him out. Got his goat talk on. This is a partnership that Save 22 came about, 2 months ago, maybe.
Yeah,
Here's our
something like that.
partnership right here with Goat Locker Racing. Right, really cool. I love this logo. Check out this logo on the back.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. He's decked out in his
Right,
gear.
he's
Come on,
decked out
Flyboy.
in it, man. I couldn't see it. Sorry. He's all decked out in it. But they provide you're 7 nights a week now. 7 nights
Yes.
a week live streaming iRacing.
Mhm.
Multiple different disciplines. And Save 22 has partnered with them to sponsor their Goat Talk Live on Thursdays
Mhm.
at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, sir. Yes.
8 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Goat Talk Live. And we also sponsor one of your racing series as well. Very excited about all that. And if you could please just tell everybody what or why you started Goat Locker Racing and what Goat Locker Racing provides.
Ooh, how much time do we have? We got a couple
All
hours.
day.
You got
All day.
3
We
minutes.
got all day. All right.
3 minutes, bro.
So this is that exercise in the elevator pitch. You got to go.
Yeah, this is
You
the
got to make it
elevator
happen.
pitch. Go.
Dang, I didn't know that was going to be like this morning. I thought we were friends.
Hey, I want to let everybody know too. About 12 minutes ago, I sent him a text and I said, "Hey,
Yeah.
can you be on today?" And he's like, "Yep." So here we are. So
Hey.
big thanks to Pat, man. Thanks for jumping on, buddy.
Hey, we're all in this for the same thing, to help veterans,
We
to
are.
serve veterans. And anytime I get a text message, just the same as the two of you, I'm going to jump on it. My phone's always on, and if somebody needs me, I'm going to be there for them. But yeah, I guess a quick 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever the heck we can squeeze this in. But yeah, I'm Pat, and I am one of the co-founders of Goat Locker Racing. Me and my good friend Jamie Barkas founded this organization 4 years ago at this point in time. And it was born out of our passion for racing. I kind of got him into racing back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I was born and raised here in Indianapolis, the world center of racing. I don't care what Daytona says, and all that other kind of crazy stuff. Racing started here in Indy. There's no bigger race in the world than the Indianapolis 500. And so we got into NASCAR. We got into online, the NASCAR games in the late 90s, early 2000s. We were stationed in Italy together at that point in time. So, we had some pretty wonky internet and all the other fun stuff. And then we both transferred back to the States and we started doing these live tournaments where you
Mm-hmm.
packed up your equipment, you headed to these big hotel banquet rooms, everybody linked together, and you went racing. Had an absolute blast with that. And then, of course, his path in the Navy took him one direction. My path, went a different direction. He retired a few years before I did, but I retired in the fall of 2017. And then when 2020 hit, and everything shut down, all sporting events shut down, NASCAR moved to iRacing. They televised 5 races on Fox, and they put some of their best drivers behind the wheel of these sim rigs. And my buddy Jamie hits me up and he's like, "Hey man, you watching this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "It makes me want to get back into sim racing." And I'm like, "Well, me too." And like 2 old retired guys, like a week later, he shoots me a text. He's like, "Hey man, I put my order in at Best Buy. You're up." I'm like, "Well, here we go." And so we started. We started on iRacing, in I think it was April of 2020. And we raced in a couple different leagues, was having an absolute blast, but we decided we wanted to do something. So we founded Goat Locker Racing, and we founded it on the premise of it was going to be veteran friendly, first responder friendly, and we were going to keep it absolutely free for those veterans and first responders that wanted to join. Now, for me, I'm 100% disabled because of mental health issues and severe anxiety attacks and things along those lines. But when I sit in this, and you can't see the whole thing, I could plug my steering wheel up and get a little better visual of it, but it all goes away. It's what a lot of mental health professionals call diversion therapy. And I've talked to a lot of them, both personally and professionally. And this is such a great release. It's a way to deal with those stresses and anxiety, because you get to sit here and you're involved with this huge community that we've built. It's almost like being back in the military. I tell people you're more invited to join our Discord, but please don't bring your feelings with you because they're going to get hurt. It is full of veterans and it gets a little rough around there. But we also combine this huge community that we built with something that is fun and exciting. Again, a lot of mental health professionals will tell you the best way you can combat, thoughts of suicide, substance abuse, all of those different types of things is to have a healthy hobby. Give them something to do. So that's exactly what we did. And then, oh, by the way, you never have to leave your home. We're going to put the sim rig in your house. You can access it 24/7. Our Discord is always up and live and going crazy. So we provided this whole community, this whole sense of just healing. And it has just expanded and expanded and expanded since we started. So in March of 2023, we were established as a nonprofit here in the state of Indiana. Both me and Jamie, we kept getting all these messages from these veterans and these first responders about thanks for what you're doing. Thanks for putting this on for a couple hours a night and giving us a chance to escape. Thanks for building this huge community. I feel like I'm back in the military again. I feel like I'm surrounded by my brothers and sisters again. And we kept going back and forth with like, man, we got to do something with this. And of course we were funding the whole thing out of our back pockets. And we decided, hey, let's turn this into a nonprofit. And then a couple months later, I left corporate America, had a talk with my wife and said that I want to see if we can make this thing go. It is really growing and we're doing some great work. And she looked at me like I was crazy, as she always does. And said, well, honey, if that's what helps you and that's what makes you feel good, go do it. And so I have. So a few months later, we got our 501c3. We became recognized as a national charity. And then it just launched to the stratosphere. Go Locker Racing started as a Thursday night truck series. That was it. We had one night a week we were racing. And at the onset of this year in 2025, we moved to 7 nights a week. We moved to some more weekend stuff to help out our West Coast brothers and sisters. And oh, by the way, we launched our own podcast on Thursdays. So Goat Locker is doing 8 things in a 7-day week right now.
Yep, sure are.
It has been wild, to say the very least.
Well, Save 22 is ridiculously honored to be part of you, right?
Yeah.
To be partnered with you. I knew it when we first talked. Thank you, Taylor Kitchen, for setting this up.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Nick Trussell met Taylor at Martinsville.
I believe
Martinsville,
so.
yes.
Martinsville last year, and it just went off
Mhm.
from there. So thanks to Nick, thanks to Taylor. Taylor's got Above the Yellow Line Media, ATYL. She's got,
Mhm.
again, 8, 9, 10 different podcasts that
She does.
she's a media team for, and
Mhm.
all aspects of racing. Um, she just launched an IndyCar podcast last night or today. I don't remember which one it was.
Today.
Four lanes, 4 laps. I don't remember what it was called.
Mm.
My apologies, Taylor. I don't mean to be um, brutalizing your hard work and dedication, but that's another one. That we recognize how
Mhm.
hard people are working and what we have gone through in our own struggle, right, to
Mhm.
come back out and just keep going, right. It can you, me, Albert, we've had these conversations where we achieve something and it never felt like it was enough. It was never enough, and we realized that it was because it was for us.
Mhm.
It didn't matter. Okay, good enough. But what can I do to help somebody else? Right?
Right.
It's a servant mentality.
Mhm.
I guess you'd say, to make sure that somebody else doesn't feel the way that you did, and to make sure that I myself don't go back to that feeling again.
Right.
Right? Then I need to
Yep.
share that with the others. And the way that you've done it through technology,
Right.
right? You never have to leave your house, and you can impact thousands a week.
Mhm.
Thousands a week. Hey, Pete Dohar's on. Whiskey Pete, congratulations. Hey, man, you're killing it too. Pete's a musician up near the Youngstown Warren area, and every time I turn around, he's got a gig or two every weekend. Marine veteran. We won't hold that against him too much, but hey, thanks for joining us today, Pete. Um, so let's talk about that time when you got out,
Yeah.
right? And what was going on. And you said you're 100% disabled through the military, and we're not going to cut. I don't like to say 100% disabled. Um, VA puts us at 100%. We can still do things, right?
Yeah.
I'm not right. Let's just keep it at that. I
Yeah.
don't want to get too far down that hole,
Don't go
but
in the weeds, man.
yeah, we're not going to
Mm-mm.
go in the weeds. But
Mm-mm.
when you transitioned out, you did 20 plus, right?
I did 24 years, all
Yeah,
active duty.
and E8, if I remember correctly, right?
Well, I would strongly advise you never call me an E8 again. I was a senior chief in the world's greatest navy. It's just a recommendation. Take it for what it's worth. But yeah, I would strongly advise not doing that.
I'm just gonna call you Pat.
All right, we can work with that one. That's probably the nicest thing somebody's called me all day.
He went full shirt
He
on you,
went
didn't
full.
he?
He's like, I was waiting for that knife hand to come out,
Hey,
man. It's like, whack.
I mean, I'm just letting you know. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and we
But you
talked about
say
this.
we did,
Right.
you and I,
Yes.
right? And eerily similar
Hmm.
to how we felt, what we were doing, how we
Right.
were trying to mask it or keep going.
Hmm.
Um, And I wanted to ask you, at what was there a defining moment, a day, a minute, whatever, an event where you finally said, I'm tired of living like this? When am I going to look at myself and my contribution to what I'm doing to feel this way? Was there anything in your history that just said, I'm done. I'm tired of feeling like this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the way I always kind of explain it to people, and it's so hard. It's so hard to put it into words what you go through during that point in time. I joined the Navy when I was 17 years old. 2 months after, I graduated high school, I was off in sunny San Diego. First time I'd ever been on a
Yeah.
plane, first time I'd ever seen a palm tree, and there I was, and so my entire adult life, I served my country. It is the only thing I knew.
Yeah.
Some people will say, you kind of get institutionalized. I would say that's 100% correct. When you define yourself as a senior chief in the Navy, and that's all that I knew. When that all goes away, it is an incredible void
Hmm.
that is impossible to explain. You feel good. I felt great coming up to retirement. I'd served my country for
Yeah.
so many years. I got this big retirement ceremony that's all planned out, family, friends. I got people flying in from all across the country. When that's all done and over with, and you're just sitting at your house, it is an unbelievable feeling of just kind of despair.
Void.
Yeah, and you
Void, I
can't,
think. Yeah, vacuum.
and and I'm back home. I'm in Indiana, and I felt a lot of anger. People just didn't know what I was going through. They're like, what's the matter, man? Or what's this, or what's that, or what's going on with Pat? And I had fits of anger. I had very serious, bouts with depression, because it boils down to everything. You have to relearn life.
Yeah.
We joked around about this, but you have to learn how to dress yourself again. When I was in the Navy, it was super, super easy. Get up in the morning, put on a uniform, come
Right.
home, cargo shorts and flip flops. This is super easy. But when you leave and you hang those uniforms up for the last time, now you got to figure out things like, what is business casual? How do I interview? What is a
Yeah.
suit? All these different types of things you have to relearn. And so, I spent a lot of time very angry. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to fill this void. And, I did a couple different things. I worked with a lot of other nonprofits. I did some things in corporate America. I started and founded, a business that was based in consulting, and none of it seemed to fill that. And so, a couple years ago, we're in 2025 at this point in time, aren't we?
Yeah.
So it was late. I
Yeah.
know it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, it was late 2022, I believe, let's put it at this point in time, where I hit rock bottom. And I mean rock bottom. It was the bottom of a lot of bottles,
I was gonna say,
to
were
the
you drinking?
golly. Um, it was the bottom of a lot of bottles. I was trying to figure out, who I was. And again, I was just angry. I was
Hmm.
angry. I was depressed.
What were
And
you
it did
angry about? Do you know what you were angry about?
just, that's a great question, John. Um,
Come on, senior chief.
I'm trying.
Because I'll tell you, my anger was over everything. Right?
Yeah,
Like I could not pinpoint one thing, but everything set me off.
yeah,
I was
it,
giving away too many fucks.
yeah. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of still trying to figure out who I was. And again, this is 5 years later. This is
Yeah.
over 5 years later. I'm still trying to figure these things out. I'm still
Hmm.
trying to figure out why I don't feel appreciated. I'm still trying to figure out, why I don't feel a sense of self-worth. Because I did when I was serving, I was serving a greater cause and a greater good. And it felt amazing. But yeah, I was at the bottom of a lot of bottles, just not doing well at all. And it ended up one night, I was just so incredibly drunk, I put a gun in my mouth and
Hmm.
pulled the trigger.
Oh
Um,
my God.
Luckily enough, my guns, aren't. I usually don't leave a couple of them chambered, and it was at that point in time, um, I put that gun down. Ended up crashing out on the couch, and then the next day, this was been a this that had been a rinse and repeat so many different times. My wife got up the next morning and she just grabbed me and hugged me and started crying and says, "I can't see you. I can't watch you continue to hurt yourself anymore." And it was then and there I decided to find real help. Um, you know, Went and saw a couple doctors and things along those lines. Got off the bottle, found some really really good healing, and started moving forward in my path to healing. And it was a couple months later. It was that December 22, January 23. And if you go back to what I was talking about before, and Goat Locker
Yeah.
being established in March of 2023, that was my defining moment of, I have to do something that fills this need for service, that fills this
Purpose.
need for purpose. I don't need money. And I think, part of what was driving me before was the whole thing about gosh, I got to make this money and I got to this and I got to
Yep.
keep up with the
Yep.
Joneses. And, I've got other friends of mine that, left and they're making, six
Bank.
figures and this, that, and the other thing. And I had to finally figure out for myself, that's what wasn't important to me. What was
Right.
important to me was to continue to serve, was to continue to give back. And, I'm blessed with an awesome retirement and those types of things. I don't have to work if I don't want to work. So I
Right.
said, the hell with this. I'm done with this. So I gave up, almost a 6-figure job and to make zero,
Yep.
which for most people, like, what the what?
Yep.
Yeah, I will tell
Yeah.
you, I gave up a 6-figure job to make nothing to do this. Until the,
Yeah.
almost 2 years later now, I still make this. But I am so much happier. It is so
Yeah.
much more fulfilling. I am a lot healthier. I won't say that I gave up drinking completely because I mean anybody that knows me knows I love a good bourbon.
Well, you gave up
But
getting drunk.
it's just a much healthier way of doing things. But I think a lot of people, well, I won't say a lot of people. I think there's a lot of talk about veteran suicide. So I'm going to stand on a soapbox for a second and then I'm going to jump back down off of it.
All right,
There's a
do it.
lot of talk about it. There's a lot of talk about veterans committing suicide and substance abuse and those types of things. I don't think there is enough discussion about healthy habits and things that you can do to avoid those pitfalls.
Yeah.
Really at that point in time when I was at my lowest of lows and I had that gun, I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I thought this is how veterans, ended their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's all that's ever talked about. That's all you ever hear about. And so I found myself there. And so I am so incredibly passionate about a lot of veteran organizations that are out there doing the good work. But I have invested everything that I have into this because we can meet them where they're at. It's a phrase that's being used more and more nowadays. Meet them where they're at. The days of going to the VFW or the Legion, while both those organizations continue to do great things, they just don't appeal to younger veterans. Not that I'm a
We've
young
said that.
veteran either. I'm not
No,
a
but
young
we said
veteran.
that a lot.
Um,
We talked about that a lot. That the Legion, the VFW, I don't not so much the DAV. They don't really have the
right.
facilities like the VFWs or the Legions do. But we talked about that. Our generation of veterans is not a go sit and drink, right? And I think that's what was
Mhm.
driving me nuts. That's what I was trying to go do. I was trying to be that veteran. And I didn't agree with it. I didn't like it. I had resigned myself to be in a 36-year-old drunk, and that's all I was going to be. And it was never going to be anymore. And it sucked. I'm
Yeah.
puking at 10:30. I'm grabbing a beer right afterwards.
Uh-huh.
Right? Just I don't
Yeah.
like that. I get it. We meet them where they're at. That's a phenomenal statement. I really love that. And man, I couldn't be more proud of you for putting down that bottle and realizing that you can have a drink,
Okay.
right? It is in your head. People ask me all the time, "You ever going to drink again?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm not drinking today." Right? April's going to be 17 years without alcohol. I don't like what I become when I drink it, and I know Albert talked about it earlier. Um, one is not enough, and 10's not too many. Right? I just
Hmm.
keep going. Um, what you talk about growth and maturing and realizing certain things about ourselves, right? Self knowledge, right? Diversion therapies. That's exactly what AA was for me when I said I have a problem. I need to figure out why I'm drinking so much. And I thought they were going to teach me how to drink, right? I did. And eight
Yeah.
years later, I end up with a pistol in my mouth. I still haven't learned how to live sober. I was a dry drunk for 8 years. And then you got to find something else. And then I retire, like you said. Well, I thought I had something. I had a not a corporate gig. I had a government job, and it was those at the end. It was those six figures, and it was comfortable. And
Hmm.
but I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't
Hmm.
satisfied. I was still around airplanes. I was on airports, right? I was teaching. It just wasn't enough. What am I doing? What's not working here for me? It can't be everybody else. Let's look at myself. What am I doing? And that was the hardest. That was the hardest one, right? Looking at
Hmm.
myself and realizing I'm the one that controls a lot of this,
Hmm.
right? And
and,
getting, go ahead, Al.
and I just want to say, Pat, I'm glad you're still here.
Thank you.
I
Me
mean,
too.
yeah, yeah. Just what you guys do is incredible. You know,
Thank
the
you.
diversion therapy, and I really that really resonated when you said meet them where they're at,
Mhm.
because I've
Yeah.
really never. I mean, when you really think about what you just said, meet them where they're at. How many times, and John and I have talked about it before, we put this expectation on ourselves, right? We put this expectation on others around us of, you need to be where I'm at. You need to meet me here. You need to do this for me.
Mhm.
That's not the way this works.
Mm-mm.
You know,
Mm-mm.
you can't expect your family to completely change for your pill addiction, your drinking, your shit. You can't
Mhm.
expect them to change for that. That, that
Right.
that's an us. That's not an issue. That's an ish me, right?
Mm.
I have
Right.
to take
Ooh.
care of that.
That's a good one.
I have to take care of that.
Yeah.
So
I
having
like
that
that.
mindset and putting that together with what you just said, thank you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thanks, Pat.
And I think, you know, for a lot of veterans that deal with mental health issues or thoughts of suicide or those types of things, or those that really have severe PTSD, it's hard for them to get out.
Yeah.
There are some amazing organizations, through equine therapy, through,
Hmm.
going out on these retreats, fishing, hiking, hunting. There are so many amazing organizations that do that. But I think of the veteran that doesn't want to be around crowds, that just really can't, that has just become so introverted that they don't want to leave their homes. And that's where these problems start coming into place. Those, amongst many other veterans and first responders, are the ones that we really try to reach. The ones that just enjoy being at home alone, but can still access this huge community of people, can still have fun with them, shoot the shit with them, and then, oh, by the way, hey, let's go race. Um, and they don't have to get up and go anywhere. They don't have to do anything. So,
Right.
as we're talking about what Goat Locker Racing does, yes, we do that. We do that 7 nights a week. So we can appeal to many people that have different work schedules, family schedules, all those types of things. And then, oh, by the way, last year we gave out over $20,000 worth of racing equipment to veterans. Um, you know, oh,
So let me get this right. People don't have to buy these. I already know the answer. I just want to clarify so people understand it.
yeah, so that's of the three main things we do. The second thing that we do, and my dog's sitting here, I don't know what she's doing right now, but hey, I'm also a sucker for rescue dogs. I've got 3 of them. And I've been married almost 30 years, and that's the only thing my wife has ever threatened to divorce me over, if I bring home another dog. And I'm like, of all the things I've done in my life, that's the thing that's going to make you leave, if I bring home another dog. But
If I knew it was that easy, I'd have gotten another one a long time
I
ago.
have 3 more at this point in time. I'd have 6 dogs, but hey, um, we want to, from the very onset of Goat Locker Racing, and I talked about this before, we wanted to keep it free. The cost of this not to be a barrier. So through that, we have donated 6 complete sim rigs to veterans. And the complete rig is a brand new PC from Alexander PCs. They're a veteran-owned company out of Chicago. If you need a computer, please hit them up. They're phenomenal. The owner of the company, TJ, is a Navy veteran, so you got to love him. And they are just phenomenal people. So it's a brand new PC. It is your wheel, your pedals, a cockpit similar to this, not quite as nice as this as I smack my freaking microphone. A monitor, a headset, keyboard, mouse. We are partnered with iRacing. iRacing gives them a full year subscription to their service. And oh, by the way, loads their account with a ton of money so they can buy all the tracks and cars they need. It's about a $2,500 setup that we give to these veterans. And it's a selection process. We have them fill out an application. I kind of sort through all the applications. Those go in front of my board of directors, and then we make our selections. Right now, I have 2 complete sim rigs sitting downstairs waiting to go out to the next 2 veterans. So we're going through that selection process right now. So anybody that's tuned in right now, please, by all means, go onto our website. If you want to nominate someone, fill out that application form, tell us their story, and we can get this equipment in front of them. Again, we want to try to keep, take away the cost of this. again, and we were just talking about a lot of the excursions these other organizations do and things along those lines. Well, still, for some people, at the end of the day, they got to pay for gas to get there and all this other stuff. And it has been amazing to see. You'll see, there's the equipment application right there. Um, and if you're here in the state of Indiana, we have grant funds to be able to provide those. That's why you see the two different ones. If you're not here in the state of Indiana, hit the general equipment application. We'll get it. We'll review it. And if we've got the funds, we will absolutely make sure we can provide you a sim rig. But again, pretty simple stuff. We just gathering a little bit of information about you. And then we just want you to tell your story a little bit and how you think you could benefit from having this equipment. And then if you, if you get selected, we'll figure out a way to get it to you.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing, and I want to touch on something that you said, meeting them where they're at. That doesn't necessarily mean that you want to keep them in their house,
Right.
right? So you have 3 seasons of racing, and if I remember right, it's
Mhm.
16 weeks, 8 weeks, and 13 weeks.
15, 8, 15.
15, 8, 15. Okay, cool. So you can race throughout the year, 7 nights a week now, 3 different series, or I'm sorry, 3 different seasons.
Mhm.
And the cars, you have Cup cars, you
Mhm.
have Xfinity cars, trucks. I believe there was an ARCA.
Correct.
I think I saw a modified in there.
Late model stocks.
Late model stocks. You can pick what kind of car you want to drive, right? And for me, like I grew up with street stocks and late models here in Canton Motor Speedway, Midvale Motor Speedway, right? And then I transferred out west with Dick Cobb and late models, and then super lates, and then Winston West and Southwest Tour. Great, just old style, older rate. And we're talking in the 90s, guys, right? I was 20 something years old. It was a little different back then. All these digital cockpits. But man, Pat, congratulations.
Thank you.
A for not pulling the trigger, B for still being here, and C, finding your niche, right? Your purpose that impacts thousands, and I'm not understating that. Your broadcasts, your streams, and your podcasts are going to reach thousands of people this year. And that's because you had a vision and a dream, and we couldn't be prouder to be partnered with you and Goat Locker Racing. And thank you to Taylor for hooking us up. And Rich and everybody involved. It's going to be amazing. I hope to see you in Indianapolis. I think you're going to come to our hike. You are coming to the hike May 3rd.
Of course, we're going to be there. So Goat Locker Racing is going to be there.
Yeah,
love it.
Now we get to talk about the third thing Goat Locker does. So we have a full mobile setup. So we have it was about a $9,000 build to put this mobile simulator together that we take to events with us. I mean, we've got a really cool, I think we have the coolest branded tent in the world. I mean, it's freaking amazing. But we'll be there. We'll have the mobile simulator with us. We'll have our full, booth set up. We're going to bring hats, shirts, decals, dog tags, you name it. We'll bring some water bottles as well. And then, oh, by the way, I think we're going to go ahead and load up our late model stock car and bring it along too.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So we can, we'll park it there, let people, check it out, jump in it, those types of things. And then the only thing I'm requesting of Save 22 is that you find me an open parking lot where we can do some pretty awesome burnouts in that late model stock car.
Well, I might happen to have a Maslin Judge in my pocket. We might be okay. I mean, not in my pocket as in money wise. I mean, in my phone, I can call him.
Right.
Boy, I need to edit that out. We really need to think about that for a
We're
second.
live. You can edit it. Way to go.
Yeah.
No, I think we might be able to accommodate something. If not a burnout, we'll at least get that bad boy up and running, and we'll make some windows shake. Definitely. Patrick, thank you for joining us on short notice. I'm going to go pack up. I think, well, no, I can't. We need to talk about one more thing. Patrick, if you're welcome to stick around. If you want to go. Oh, it looks like he's going to stick around. Wonderful. Yeah. I want to talk real quick about the Patriot Project and Shiloh Harris. Shiloh Harris is going to be at Bubba's 33 in Canton tonight from 5 to 6, I think it was, maybe 4:30 to 6:30. Bubba's Canton. Tim Arnold, our good friend of the show, friend of Save 22, is putting some things together for local businesses to come meet Shiloh. The Patriot Project, run by Dr. Tim Novelli out of Canton, Ohio, is sponsoring Shiloh to come do these things. Shiloh and Dr. Novelli do an incredible job of raising awareness of chiropractic care for veterans. Many of us have been involved in explosions or falls where our backs are kind of jacked. Mine was, I broke my back as a young man, 19 years old in the service, and ended up serving 22 more years with it. But I go to chiropractic care. Dr. Sean Capper down here in Dover, New Philly of Capper Chiropractic and Wellness has been treating me for 13 years now. Yeah, just and you feel great. It hurts the first couple of days when you first have it done because things are out of whack and they're putting them back in alignment. But boy, if you maintain a schedule and well, I don't know where that came from. If you're if you maintain a schedule, that regimen, right? We talked about that regimen of keeping yourself healthy, right? Of making yourself feel good, doing the things that you know you need to do to get through that day. Chiropractic care is one of them for me. So kudos to Dr. Tim Novelli, the Patriot Project, and thank you to Shiloh Harris for coming out and sitting at Bubba's 33 tonight. Gentlemen, excuse me. What else do we have to talk about between the three of us? I want you guys to know this, right? I was just thinking about this in my head. Between the three of us, in the next week, we're going to have an impact on over 5,000 people in just 1 week, right? With the people that follow us on social media, with the Daytona 500, with the ARCA, I think it's called the Dente 200, the Xfinity race. I forget the sponsor for that one. But we are going to have an opportunity to be on television for 3 different series, 3 different races. And they're all in prime TV spots, man. The lower left quarter panel. Mike Harmon even is putting us on the deck lid, so it's going to be an airborne shot. You're going to see us. Rick Ware is going to put a 6-inch decal of us on one of his cars this weekend. Patrick, I can't wait to see you at the racetrack soon, and hopefully we'll get some Goat Locker decals on some cars in the big boys. Right, we'll take iRacing to another level with you, and man, I don't know what else to talk about. It's been one of those crazy weeks. Jan got on. T. Jones, thanks for joining us, brother. Jonathan Coldfield, I see you. Thank you for the comment. Proud of you guys. Thank you for everything that you do. Yeah, absolutely. Just making ourselves available to share our story and giving people an opportunity to talk. Real quick, your iRacing, you can talk back and forth during this. You can do type chats. You can do verbal chats. You can do all that stuff. You can even get on and watch. And I've gotten on and watched. I haven't commented yet because I'm not ready for that just yet. But it's exciting, right? It's exciting to hear. Like you start pulling, you see the Save 22 car in there, right? You run the 07, I think it is.
I do.
Save 22 car. It's pretty sick. I don't have a picture of it. Why I don't have a picture of it, I don't know. Patrick hasn't sent it over yet. But look at this. Pat's going to send it over right now. I know that's coming.
Well, I got one better for you.
Uh-oh.
So over the weekend, and again, we are so incredibly proud to be partnered with you all as well. And one of the coolest things I see is when we bring on a partner like you all, our entire community embraces it and loves it. So I started seeing a lot of Save 22 paint schemes. And so on, I think it was Saturday or maybe it was Friday. I can't remember which. I said, I tell you what, Save 22 just sent me a bunch of t-shirts. Show me your Save 22 paint schemes and I'll send you a t-shirt. So that wrapped up yesterday. I've got all those t-shirts going out today. And so I'm getting ready to put together all these different paint schemes that were made. And you're going to see them on social media. So
cool.
We've got a My Cup car. We've got a ARCA car. We've got a truck painted by Jonathan Cofield, who's in the chat right now. It is an amazing looking truck. We had a dirt sprint car that was painted up. We had a couple of GT3 cars because we do run a sports car series on Saturdays. So we got I think one's a Porsche. They might both be Porsches. I can't remember. So these guys went out there and just started putting together some really awesome Save 22 paint schemes. So I got a bunch of paint schemes to send to you that look incredible. So Save 22 has been represented across all of our racing series just because these guys love you all. No one said, hey, go paint these things. They gravitated toward it. They loved the mission and said, hey, how can I support this mission? I've had guys reach out to me and say, hey, is it okay if we put Save 22 on our car? I'm running in this series over here. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think Save 22 is going to care. They love it. the more people that can see that car and that logo, the better. So we've got guys not only racing at Goat Locker Racing with that paint scheme, they're racing in many other leagues. So
awesome.
I got a lot of really cool cars to show you, and
That would be great.
we're gonna get them out on social media as well. And
Awesome.
we got some guys that are getting some Save 22 t-shirts mailed to them today.
Awesome.
Awesome. You
Thank
let me
you.
know if you need any more, man. We'll throw some more your way. No big
Well, I
deal.
need a hat.
Oh, we have new ones. So they
Hmm.
just came
Funny you
in.
should mention that.
Funny you should mention that. They just came in,
Okay.
and I will next week, 18, 20. I will have them the last week of February because I got to be gone for Daytona and things like that. But he's making a couple more things. I'm gonna pick them up, and I'll make sure to get you at least one of our new ones.
Okay.
We got a partial shipment in, and I was directed by that guy sitting right above you there to not get rid of anything just yet. I have to wait. I think that is the new style right there.
It is.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
So we'll make sure to get you at least one of those new style hats. Somebody in the
You said 2, right?
yeah two.
Yeah.
Two, I'll
Okay.
send you two. Sure.
Right.
Red and blue, black, gray. I don't even know what colors we have just yet.
Red,
But
red, blue, and camo.
red, blue, and camo. Okay, there you go, bro. Cliff Adams was asking for the Safe 22 hat. How do I get one? Well, there you go. They are now available on the merch tab. Go ahead and order your own. No, they are not on the merch tab just yet. This is brand new.
Yeah, we need it.
We're checking these.
We need to do the business side of it too, which sucks, but we got to get them in inventory and do all the fun stuff. Just
Oh, yeah.
so our accounting team doesn't get upset with us.
Yeah, yeah. Our accounting team,
Phenomenal.
They are
phenomenal.
amazing.
We don't like it because they keep us in line and we hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have
You know
our
how that
accountant
goes.
as well. And when I got to get on the, an hour meeting with him, at least twice a month, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And he's like, what did you do here? What did you do there? I'm like, it's all going
Right.
back to veterans. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's not good enough. But
No, it's not.
They don't
that's
like
a
it when we talk that way.
7-hour talk.
Yeah.
But
Man.
again, we joke about it like we're just laughing about it. But honestly, if we didn't have people in the background, I know for us, and I'm sure for you as well.
Right.
If we didn't have people keeping us in line, we would be off the rails in the weeds. It would be bad.
Oh,
So,
you know what? We should take time to mention those people right now, like Josh Link, who runs the business development, who maintains a couple websites for us. Riley Benson, who does Facebook and YouTube with us. Matt, who does our accounting, right? We have an accounting firm. We have a couple volunteers that sit on our board. Michelle and Crystal just came on last month. They have been phenomenal. Crystal is actually a photographer with Lex June and runs his social media stuff. So, we've got that in with there. And Michelle is a 10-year veteran of a mental health and addiction board. So, we've added some people to kind of help us out. We're kind of what's the word I want to use? Streamlining what we do.
We're
Right?
restructuring and
Restructuring just
streamlining.
a little bit.
Doge stepped in on us. Sorry to say that. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Doge took away a little bit of our function,
Yeah.
our funding from USAID. We were getting millions from Chelsea Clinton and her organization. No, we didn't take
We have to
any
edit
money.
that.
No, I'm not editing anything. No, I think we're good. It's because of people like you, Pat, and Albert and Josh and the people that you have behind you, and Matt, and Jason, who started this, Tom, who did this, and everybody that has worked tirelessly, who's come along and maybe moved on. Right, we could not have made it through these 10 years. We're in our 10th year now, Pat.
That's amazing.
Right?
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely incredible. And it's just been a constant flux of love and appreciation with minor setbacks and frustration and headaches and reorganizations and the whole 9 yards, but we keep going, right? Because it's an important mission. It's important to you. It's important to us. It keeps our mental health strong. It reminds us of where we were and where we don't want to go again. And like you said, we meet them where they're at, right? So when we go out to these community events like a car show or a music festival, we are there and they are in whatever mode they are in. And when they see us or they see the Corey Taylor Foundation, who we partner with a lot at these music festivals, you can see something in them, right? Like, do I need to talk about this? I think I need to talk about this. Boy, that one hit home or whatever. And the ability to impact that one, right? That one, which we all say is plenty, but we all know is never enough.
Mm-hmm.
To not feel the way we felt and to be able to swallow our own pride and say that, look, man, we messed up a lot in our life. And I can't say I'm never going to mess up again, but right now, today, I'm here for you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on with you and how can we make today a little bit better? And that's it. One day, 1 minute, 1 hour, whatever it's going to be, one person. And that's what you're doing. And we're so proud to be partnered with you. We're very, very happy. I'm excited for Daytona. I'm excited for this
Mm-hmm.
year. I can't wait for May 3rd for you to be here with that incredible rig and that setup. Hopefully, we'll get a couple of people signed up. I want to be clear, though, you are an
Yes.
Indiana nonprofit,
Yes.
but you do or are able to provide a sim rig to someone outside of Indiana, correct?
Correct.
Yep.
And we've done that. And,
Good.
it's just a matter of raising the funds and having those funds available to do that. So, yeah, never let that stop anybody from seeking out our services. We are
Right.
funded by a very gracious grant from the state of Indiana, but we have also have a lot of great corporate donors and sponsors that help fund things outside of the state of Indiana when it comes to sim rigs. And we can also always just get really creative because if we find a veteran in need, I guarantee you we'll find a way to fill that need.
That's fact.
Um,
That's a fact, bro.
Find a
That's a
way.
fact. That's a
yep.
fact.
Collectively, we'll
Albert,
find a way.
Albert, you got anything to do? Anything to say? It's 11:11. I think that's a phenomenal time to end this meeting for today. We're going to cut it a little bit short. I think I'm going to get on the road and drive to Daytona. We'll see what the weather looks like. Maybe just go a little bit and park for the evening. We do have a meeting with Save 22 contributors tonight, so we're going to be talking about some of that kind of stuff. And next week, next week, February 18th is going to be a phenomenal show because we'll have the response from the weekend here down at Daytona, the week with the Thunderbirds, right? Ryan Roulette, Mike Harmon, Rick Ware, just it's going to be incredible. So make sure you tune in next week, February 18th at 10 o'clock, and we'll talk about this. Albert, what do you got for us, brother? Anything?
No, again, thank you, Pat. I'm glad you're still here. Story's incredible. Thanks for the senior chief moment of meeting them where they're at. Noted from the E4 Mafia. Thank you.
There we go.
So yeah, and again, just from that first initial conversation way back, a few months ago, it just felt right. It did. Our mentalities, everything lines up well. It's truly service before self. It's truly that diversion therapy that we're still getting on our side as well,
Mm-hmm.
because we get so wrapped up in working and doing and getting and providing that we are
Mm-hmm.
still getting that, so it's a win-win the whole way around. So again, thank you. I can't say it enough. Thank you.
Pat, I'm going to give you a chance for one last shout out. Go ahead and promote your stuff, and we'll talk at you soon. Go ahead. Give it up.
Well, again, thank you all for what you do. Again, there's so many incredible organizations out there doing great work that don't get a lot of high level visibility because we're just we're out beating the streets and doing what I call God's work. And we are out there giving everything that we got each and every day to impact that one life. And it's never lost on me the work that people do. It's never lost on me when someone donates $1. That they did that out of the kindness of their heart to support our mission and believe in what we do. That means a tremendous amount to me personally. I know how much it means to my organization and the things that we're able to do for all the veterans and first responders. But for me personally, that is very impactful. But yeah, come check us out. Follow us on all the social medias and all the other kind of crazy stuff. If you ever want to tune into one of our races, they go live on our Facebook page. Monday nights is at 8 o'clock, Tuesday nights 8 o'clock, Wednesdays 8:30. Thursday, Goat Talk goes off at 8 o'clock. Friday's 8:30, and Sunday is 8 o'clock. Holy smokes, we got a lot of stuff going on. And then stay tuned because we're probably going to be putting Saturday as a broadcasted series as well, which I am so happy that we're going to be able to do as well. Again, stop by the website. We don't have a fancy web store quite as of yet. We're still working through some things. But if you know a veteran that can benefit from our services, please jump on there, submit an application. Or if you're already into iRacing and you're already into racing and you want to come hang out with us, you can go to our website, just hit drive with us. That's a short little application. And it's super simple. Once you fill that out, you see it highlighted in red right there. It says GLR application. It'll give you a link to our Discord. You can jump in the Discord and come have some fun with us. But honored to get the text message this morning that says, "Hey, you got about 10 minutes to get on our podcast." And had to throw a different set of clothes on and all that stuff. But any opportunity, gentlemen, and I will leave you with this. You can call me on a moment's notice and say, "Hey, Pat, we could sure use you," and I will be there. Same as if anybody else reaches out to me and says, "We need you," I will be there. This is what I was put on this earth to do, is to serve and to give back and to make sure my brothers and sisters are taken care of. Whether it's through my story or the stories of many, this is what I was the good Lord put me on the earth to do this. So my phone's always on. I'm always more than happy and willing to help out where I can. Even if you call me one day and be like, "Hey man, I need you to jump in the car and head to Ohio." I'm like, "All right, give me a couple minutes and I'm on my way." And I think, that's what makes all of us do what we do.
I agree.
So I look forward to the next time we get to chat. I think we're going to end up doing this a lot, and I love it.
We are.
I absolutely love it. If we end up just playing dueling podcasts, and I have you on Thursday and you have me on Tuesday, and everybody just gets sick of seeing our two faces,
I'm
way freaking good with that.
I'm way good with it too.
But no, thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for help spreading the word. And I can't wait. I can't wait for May. I can't wait, to do more events and things like that.
Man, I'm excited. I'm stoked, and thanks for being here. Thanks for picking up the phone. We could kiss each other's ass with thank yous for the next 10 minutes if we wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. Senior Chief, as long as you call me first sergeant.
That's where we're going to end this thing, huh? All right, man.
I'll leave it right.
Yeah,
I'm gonna leave it
right there.
If that's the road you want to go down, I mean, it's a Tuesday. We can play that game. I promise you, Senior Chief's going to win.
Senior Chief's going to win. Yeah, that's true. I'm a nobody. Hey, Tuesday Talk presented by Safe 22. Thank you, Patrick. Goat Locker Racing. Goat Talk Live Thursdays at 8:00. 7 nights a week of broadcast. iRacing, multiple leagues, multiple platforms, absolutely incredible. Senior Chief, retiree, Patrick Drabrek, E4 Mafia King over there, Albert Wooden, and just me, Flyboy. Hey guys, thank you very much for being here. And I would be remiss if I didn't say, hi Mom, thanks for watching. I appreciate the love, Mom. Thank you very much. All right, guys, have a good time. We're going to end that